Okay, I wanted to show you what you will get with the Valentine Treat Bundle. That's one of the two specials that we have going from January 3rd to 21st only. You will get a single stamp, the Happy Heart Valentine stamp, and you will get a package of 50 1-inch by 8-inch cellophane bags. When you get this stamp, as I said, it is a single stamp. This is available in clear mount only. I've already put the sticker on this one, but what it's going to do is it'll come with the image and an extra sheet that has the sticker on it, and you just peel and stick to put it together. And I'll show you that really quick with a different stamp set. I was so excited to use this one, I already put it together. So this is the little love stamp from the Chow Baby stamp set available in the spring catalog. And I've taken the little sticker that comes with it, the index sticker, and all you're going to do is peel just this layer off, just like a little band-aid. Peel the layer off the sticker, and this is sticky, so you don't want to not touch that. So I'm going to try and get my fingernail under there. Pull that away. If it's bowed up, I want to make it flat. Then I'm going to take the actual stamp, and I'm going to remove the backing from the foam. Again, if you get that dirty, it's going to stick between your stamp and your sticker, so you really want to kind of keep your fingers off of that. And you'll be able to see an outline. The outline on the sticker should match the outline of the cut of the stamp. And just make sure that you've got it going in the same direction, like I've got the E for the love on this side of it. And you just set it straight down. I'm going to hold this in place so it's a little bit easier. Just set it straight down on the sticker. I like to give it some pressure in the middle so that it doesn't bubble. Pull those aside, and then you peel this away and your index image is stuck to the back of your stamp. And that's how a clear mount stamp works. So for this particular stamp, the Happy Valentine's Day stamp, or Happy Heart stamp as it's called, I've already put the index image on there, and you're going to need to use it with a clear block. The clear mount stamps you need to use with a clear block. What I recommend is setting your stamp down on a solid surface. What I usually do is rub this block on my pants, which are pajama pants and you can't see, and then I actually exhale onto the surface of the sticker that's on the back of the stamp, the index sticker. It makes it just a tiny bit moist. And then I press down and I count for 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. And you can usually see through the top that the air bubbles are pressed out. If they're not pressed out well enough or stuck well enough that you think you would like, actually you can hold the block and press on the image from the underneath with your fingers. Press it up towards the block. And I just put lotion on my hands, so this is a little bit sticky, but it stays on there real well for you. And now I want to show you a project with this. Okay, so the first thing that I would recommend doing is filling the cellophane bags, as many as you'd like to use for your projects, or as many treats as you'd like to hand out. Fill those first with whatever treats you'd like. M&Ms, especially the Valentine colored ones, work great. The plain or the peanut will fit in here quite well. I really like caramel, and so I love those little mini Rolo candies, but I'm just going to end up eating these because they don't really fit in there quite well, unfortunately. The candy coating on the M&Ms makes them slide into the bags very easily. So here I have a bag that I've already kind of preloaded. You're not going to want to load them sideways. When you load them in, they're actually going to load better just flat. And then as you put more in there, you sort of pinch them down and squeeze them down, and then they will load in there sideways instead of flat on their back. So there is the bag that I have loaded, and now I just need to create my topper. Okay, for my topper, I am going to stamp the Happy Heart single stamp in real red ink. And I just want you to see how fast this goes together. So when I ink up my stamps, this is one of the old style ink pads with the linen cover, and I like to sort of twist my stamp and tap it. Makes a lot of noise, but it gets it covered fairly well. And then I also like to breathe on my stamps just to sort of moisten them right before I stamp. And I will stamp that down. So you have a nice crisp, clear image. Say that 6 times fast. And I'm going to use the full heart punch. This punch matches the shape of this heart, so it's really easy to line this up here and just punch it right out. Okay, and then I want to layer this on one more item that's not included in this kit, but it just works so perfectly I just have to use it. The item that I want to show you is the Scalloped Heart of Heart Embosslet, and I'm going to use this with real red cardstock, the same color that I used to ink up the stamp with. This piece is approximately 2 by 2.5 inches, and this will cut out the heart and emboss little tiny miniature heart shapes on it at the same time. I have my Big Shot with my platform and one of my cutting plates right here, and the Sizzlet says place this side down, so I'm going to place that side down. I like to put the hinges perpendicular to the roller there, and then I'm just going to push my plate in here right on top, and I'm going to start this through. Pops just a little bit, makes some little squeaky sounds, and then if you don't knock everything on the floor, then you can just take out your little heart. And there's a cutout you can use for sponging as well if you'd like. And this, I'm not sure if you can see the texture, that side's a little bit better. The texture of the little raised hearts from the embosslet. And I'm just going to layer this onto the stamped piece, or rather layer the stamped piece onto this one. Okay, so I have my cellophane, 1x8 cellophane bag, which is preloaded with M&Ms. And the stamped piece, this is the Scalloped Heart of Hearts that I just ran through the Big Shot. So I'm going to seal my bag. There's just a little piece up here. I'll pull that off, get it unstuck from my fingers, and fold this down, and it just sticks to itself. Put a little crease up there. And then what I like to do, because it's the easiest and fastest way to assemble this, is to put the heart on there and then take my trusty little swing line stapler and staple the heart onto it. It really doesn't matter where the staple falls because I'm going to cover it up anyway. On this Happy Valentine's Day image, I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional. Don't have a whole lot left on here. I'll just take a couple of them at the very tip of it as well. Peel off the backings to those. Hope they don't stick to my fingers. And then just lay that right over the other heart. Woohoo! Little small hole in there. And that's basically the project. I personally love the look that you get with the Scalloped Heart of Hearts in the back of this little stamp, but if you just wanted to do something very simple without purchasing very many other supplies or any supplies at all, instead of using the full heart punch, you can just cut around this image with scissors. You can load up your M&Ms or whatever treat in your bag, seal that closed, if you can get a hold of this little piece. Sorry, it's the same clear color as the other parts. If you can see where there's a line here, this is the double sleeve ends right there, and the flap starts right there. If you can close it up right to where that flap is, then you're going to have less likelihood that your candies are going to tip and fall out. And then to put this on the end, these Stampin' Dimensionals are super handy to have. I would just stick one in the middle if you're not going to have a backing on it, and just put that right on the top. And then you're done. And that's a super simple way to do it. If you don't have the Stampin' Dimensionals, you could always just glue this directly to the bag. As I mentioned before, you can just cut around your stamped image, and you can punch a little hole up in the corner here, and you can run thread or twine or yarn or whatever you may have. I'm using the Cherry Cobbler Baker's twine, and even though I stamped this image in real red and the red that's on the twine is Cherry Cobbler, it still coordinates just fine. So I'm going to tie this in a square knot at the top of my project, and this is already closed. So I'm going to take the right piece of string, put it over the left, and I want to pull it tight. You need to make sure this stays tight. Pull it tight and hold it, and then put the left string, this one here, over the string that's on the right. So this is going over it, and then comes back up, and you pull that And then you have that tied on there. So you've got that treat, so then you can just trim off the little edges if you'd like, so that you don't have any roughness to it. And again, you can use any type of string or twine that you may have for that. Okay, and this last little demonstration is just using markers to ink up the stamp. If you did not want to purchase a full-size ink pad, you could use this as the Real Red Stampin' Right marker, and you could just color over the entire image. Because this treat uses these heartbreakers that are different colors, I thought it'd be nice to color coordinate the tag. So what I'm going to do is just pick my colors. This is Pumpkin Pie. I'll go ahead and start with this one on one side and color about 1/3 of it. Just color over it with the brush tip of the marker. And then in the center I'm using Primrose Petals, and you can just kind of overlap your color just a little bit. If you go from light to dark in your colors when you're coloring over it, then it's not going to really make any difference on your marker. If you do get some color on your marker that you don't want, just kind of scribble and rotate your marker and scribble that color off. So the last color that I'm using is Real Red. Again, I'm going to overlap just a little bit. Make sure that I color in the entire section that I want in that color. And once again, as I did before, even with my ink pad, I like to just exhale lightly on the stamp, but especially with markers, this works really well to keep this marker just as moist as this over here. So I'm going to exhale on it, and then I'll just press straight down, give it some good pressure, pull up, and then you have a little tricolor tag. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to go ahead and use the punch. Maybe I'm not lazy, maybe I'm just efficient. I'll punch that out. And again, I've already preloaded my bag. You want to take the little adhesive cover off of the flap, fold it over, and make sure that fold is where the bag opening is so that your candies don't slip out. And then I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional, and once again just pop this on the back. If you want to tie this on, that's fine. If you want to use glue just to glue it on, that's fine as well. These are really fast and easy. And then you have that simple little treat. And here's a final money shot of all the little projects that we've done. This one I went ahead and filled with peanut M&Ms, and I haven't attached this permanently yet. What I wanted to do was show you, you need to be gentle when you're loading these bags. I actually taped the side of this up because it split a little bit. When I was pinching the bag to press the M&Ms down, some of these turned and they were rather wide and it just pressed on the top of the bag. You don't usually have that problem farther down the bag, but right at the opening of it, up on the top, just on one of the sides, one of the two sides, it'll split sometimes. But again, you can just take a little piece of tape and just close that up, and then you should be fine. Just make sure that however far down it has split, that you've got your tape covering that little split. And this is a reason also why I like to use the Heart of Hearts embosslet, because it first of all can cover more mistakes, and second, I just really like to have something solid to attach this and keep it closed. And I find that when I staple this, I'm actually stapling the bag closed as well as stapling that little heart on there. And again, all I do is peel these little backings off of here, which generally should work, but for some reason is not working right this second. And then I'm going to put that right over there, and then it covers the staple. So your extra little heart covers your mistakes, and your Happy Valentine's Day stamp covers the staple. And there you go.